Welcome to the Longest Take podcast. Thank you for tuning in to the Longest Take podcast. In today's episode, we are joined by the dynamic filmmaking duo of writer-director Cassidy Tee and producer Kristina Mercado. We discuss an array of film topics, but we also get a good look at Cassidy Tee's upcoming short film, First Chair. All right, my first question here to both of you is, what is your top 5 for favorite movies?
Okay, I already have anxiety.
We talked about it and our answers changed and we still talked about it.
I know, and I don't even remember what I said. Okay.
Yeah.
One of the first ones I always think of when asked what my favorite movie is always Edward Scissorhands. Only because I love Tim Burton, but also because I tried when I was younger to watch the movie so many times. I'd put it on, my dad would have it on, and I'd have to run out of the room because I'd be so scared. And then eventually, I was 16 or whatever, and I put it on and I was like, this movie's everything to me. Changed my life. No, it didn't. But I love it so much. So that one has to go on there just because it was such a big part of I swear on my life I tried to watch it 6 times at different points in my life, and I literally put it on and have to turn it off because I'd be so scared. So that one has to go on there. Because what a weird thing. It's not even a scary movie. He just has scissors as hands. It's not that deep. That's my first. That's one of mine. Kristina, you go.
I really like The Incredibles. The Pixar docu-interview style is really cool, and it's animated like that. That's pretty cool. I thought when we talked about it, that's what I thought about it. I'm just gonna go with that answer right now.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
Do you have who's your favorite in there of the family?
I feel like I need to relate to Mrs. Incredible. So, because I am a mother as well, and I can feel her struggle now.
That's beautiful.
Really quick, Jack. I totally relate to the struggle with Jack too. As my son gets older, it's don't know what to expect. But
oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, Jack just kind of, I love Jack because he doesn't say anything ever, and it's such a character, so interesting. I love that. I was a Violet girl, a little shy. Yeah, I was a little shy, but she can pack a punch. Another movie that is on my top 5 is probably Good Time, which is a Safdie brother movie. I don't know. First of all, I love Robert Pattinson, but I also love movies that take place over one night. Those are that's my favorite style of movie for some reason. I'm always drawn to those, so that's one. I love that movie a lot, and I've had never seen a movie at that time that makes you hate the lead so much. You hate him because he's such a scumbag, but you're so intrigued to finish it. Kristina hasn't seen that movie, and I need to make her watch it.
I tried watching it and was really interested, and I don't know what happened.
What happened? Seriously, you need to watch it.
No, I was really him in the hoodie was everything for a minute. I'm like, what is this?
In the hoodie?
Yeah, I don't know. I was drawn. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I love the Safdies, but that was a movie that my wife basically almost walked out on. She did not like Good Time at all.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that movie so much.
No, I love anything that the Safdies do. So
I love that movie because it's so hard to watch. That's why I love it. I think maybe I don't know. Kristina, what's your second one? I know you're dreading this, but just pull it up.
I don't know. It's hard if you're a cinephile. You don't have a favorite.
Oh my gosh, yes you do. You have cinephile.
I have a lot of, I feel maybe guilty pleasures. You're not supposed to admit that you like them as much as you do.
Right.
So I think probably Crazy Rich Asians was one of I watched it like 6 times in theaters because I had a free pass to watch it. So
Oh my gosh.
probably 6
movie?
times since. So a good total of 12.5 times probably total of watching that movie.
Oh,
Yeah, I was really into it. It's one of those
it's a
movies.
great movie.
Yeah.
They're making a TV show.
Are they? The book was interesting. I think they took different takes from the book, which is fine. I like to watch a movie and then read a book to see what I missed or what was different.
That's sweet.
Awesome.
Okay, I guess I'll go with my third one. I can't remember what was on mine. I'm gonna forget a movie that I like. But what's another one? I love Rear Window is one of my favorite movies ever. We watched that when I was 14 years old in film class, and I was like, this is so lame, like, oh my god. And then I was like, greatest movie ever. So now I love that movie because a movie that you're forced to watch, you're already annoyed because you're like, this sucks, but then you're also like, it's movie day, so like I'm kind of having fun. But I actually enjoy that movie a lot. I love that movie. Rear Window, Hitchcock. Kristina, you go.
You had mentioned it, so I don't know if I want to mention it because it's kind of your answer when we talked about it. But Ghost Story, because we met David.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
David Lowery?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And he's the sweetest man ever. He was talking to us for so long that I was like, I'm so sorry that we're taking up some of your time. And he's like, it's okay. And I was like, you're so like sweet. He was extremely, extremely nice.
Where'd you meet him?
At a Chicago film meetup.
Cool.
The Chicago Film Fest. There we go.
Oh, he showed up to that. That's awesome. Yeah, that's amazing. I love his movies.
Oh my god.
He was so sweet. We have a picture with him. We have several. But he was a cool guy, and I'm glad we got to meet him. And it's gonna have to always be my forever favorite until I meet someone more famous, I guess, probably.
Yeah, there you go.
That's messed up. We don't actually.
No, he's super sweet. If I do see him again, I'll bask in his glory.
Was he there for like one of his movies or?
Yeah.
Which movie is
No,
his?
he was
No?
doing like a panel.
No, well, the panel ended up showing his 20-minute short.
Oh, he was there for a short film.
Ooh.
That was animated. His first animated movie.
An Almost Christmas Story.
That's awesome.
I don't think you remember. Yeah, it was extremely good.
Yeah, lucky. I would love to meet him. He's made some great things.
Oh my gosh.
Definitely go to the International Film Fest like panel things. Industry days, I am, aside from being like 5'0", if that, I like to sit in the very front row and you get to see everybody. Like I got to look with Michael Shannon right in the face because I was right up there.
This picture is hilarious.
Oh, there it is. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
He's like so uncomfortable in the photo, but got one anyway. Oh, I'm also wearing green here. It's funny.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's gonna be my fourth movie because I love that movie so much. And I love it because I saw it at this super tiny, dingy movie theater that was just like playing a bunch of random things. And my dad was like, let's go see this movie. It looks cool. And I knew nothing about it. And just going in there and like, yes! Like going in there and seeing like, what an interesting way to tell a story. Like I was blown away by that movie because nothing I've ever watched has made me feel that type of feeling. Like it was so weird because you're like, and this is the home being. Yeah, that was a great movie. So I'll steal that as my fourth one.
Yeah, because even on like the cosmic level, like the cosmic scale of it, like it just like it's not just them anymore. He like it's pretty.
And there's like
amazing.
Kids running around at one part, and I'm like, oh my god, this was like a family home. It's so sweet. And then I'm like, okay, Casey Affleck was in it for like half a second. Love him. Or Dewey, I don't know actually.
It's debatable. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It
You know what? I don't know. Okay, that's my fourth. Kristina, what's your fourth? I know that you like trying to help you out here.
Yeah.
What about Moana 2? Did you see that?
I didn't think I liked that one actually. Went to go see it at this theater where they serve you food, and like everyone's constantly walking in and out. I'm like, can you not serve that man chicken tenders right now?
You're sick of that.
Yeah, I was not a fan. And like the food was pretty okay, but I probably could have spent my money somewhere else, so it didn't help.
I wanted to. You see the first one?
Yeah.
Okay, well. Okay, then we'll skip you. And my last one will be my last one. Well, unless you have one, Christina.
You go ahead, I'll come back.
Damn it. I know because I texted you mine and now I don't remember them.
Let me see.
Okay, I'm gonna say that one because I want to add a documentary in here. That one documentary where the man lives with the bears.
Grizzly Man by Werner Herzog.
Grizzly Man. How would I know you would know? Grizzly Man?
Do I have that here? I might, but
Insane. And the way that was told, I cried. I was like, because you go into it and you're like, this guy's a freaking, like, without knowing anything, you're like, this guy's an effing idiot. Why? There he is. Oh my God.
Yep, got this one too.
So good. And I'm
I
like,
love it.
You idiot. Why are you going to go live with the bears? And you watch it unfold and you're like, oh my God, because he was one of them. And you're like, at the end, you're like, is he? I'm like, oh, it's so sad. That movie's incredibly good.
Yeah.
Is that a disc replay sticker? It looked like one.
Yes, it is. I used to live close to the Downers Grove location, and now I live by the Orland Park location. But
the standing location because the countryside one closed, so it was pretty
yes, and I loved how all three of those were connected. So I sell stuff from one, I could use those credits for the other. So it's
okay.
But yeah, that was. It's still got the disc replay sticker. That's funny that you recognize that.
Been around a few blocks.
Yeah.
Okay, Christina, you have some now.
Okay. I used to really love Scarface when I was like 9.
Oh,
that's a good age, right?
I know. Well, my dad got me this like special edition one. Honestly, I don't know if it was when I was 9 or not. I'm not gonna date myself. But
oh my God.
it was like this really big box, and it came with the original and like a bunch of little things with it, and then the anniversary edition. I'm like, this is my favorite. I would play it. I would live by this weird rule before I even knew it was a rule, where you watch a movie at least 3 times.
What?
And then you kind of give it, so you watch it to watch, you watch it to analyze, you watch it to see what you missed or something.
What a rule is that? That's insane. I mean, please, I love that. The more you watch, I mean, okay. But what a rule.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, well, that's where like I would start with at least the 3, and then I would put replay if I didn't have anything to take its place. So
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's hard to pick one, and I watch everything.
Yeah, you do watch a lot.
I do.
Random stuff too.
I do. Yeah. There's a few that I wish I could watch that I haven't watched yet.
Yeah. Sean, how do you feel about Anora?
Oh, I loved it. I caught that in theaters not that long ago, but yeah. I was very happy to see Mikey won and Sean Baker won all the awards. So I was like,
it's insane that he writes, directs, and edits. I'm like, you love yourself so much. I wish I could be that. That's insane. What a talent.
Yeah.
Insane.
I think he's the first person to like take home that many like for one thing. So that's really impressive. But yeah, Anora was great.
I
also,
love Anora.
Did you see Uncut Gems?
Yes.
So the Safdie brothers have that chaos with what they do. I think of Anora like Safdie light. Like it's like a Safdie flick, but it's a little more optimistic. It's not like as like dark and like kind of mean as the Safdies, but
for sure I can see that. It's a little more and it helps that it's the lead is a woman, so you kind of are like you feel, at least me, maybe being a woman, I like feel more sympathetic to her versus like
Adam Sandler.
I'm like, I feel bad for you, but like you're an idiot, and then like you're so greedy at the end, and you're like, oh my God, it's like insane. But
and then Robert Pattinson, literally the worst character in film in that movie, but it was still great. But
so good, but like you hate him so much because he's the worst. I took a lot of inspo from that movie, not really from the story, but from like the feeling you get watching it, because you just like I wrote a feature, and I tried to get that feeling again you got at the end, because you're just like, and then you're like, but I hate this guy, but like I also am like, yeah, that movie was insane. But I would love to chase that feeling from the end of a movie again, because it's so like interesting. Like usually you're like rooting for the lead,
right?
But you just hate this piece of shit so much. You're like, I hate this man.
Yeah.
So really interesting how they did that, and I like that a lot. Okay, now we need to know your top 5, Sean. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I gotta do mine.
Yeah, you have to.
The Tree of Life by Terrence Malick.
Okay.
It's my number 1 anytime someone asks me. An Elephant Sitting Still by Hugh Bow. That was 2019. It's also like 4 hours long. Nope by Jordan Peele.
Oh, I love Nope.
it.
Interesting choice. I don't know if that's in a lot of people's top 5.
Yeah, I watch it, like seeing it in IMAX and then like watching it on 4K. Just the way it was shot. It's by Hoyt Van something, the guy who does like the Nolan movies now.
Yep.
So it just looks immaculate to even watch, and the climax of that movie is incredible. It's in the date. It's like he's doing for UFOs what Jaws did for like sharks, I think.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I love it. And then number 4, Interstellar by Nolan. I love Interstellar.
Cool, good one.
Yeah. Is that 4 or 5?
That was 4.
Oh, I'm so used to Letterboxd. I have a Letterboxd. Number 5 would be Before Midnight, or Before Sunrise and Before Sunset.
Oh.
Yeah, the trilogy. I love it. I actually just shot a short film over the weekend, and it's like inspired by that. Just 2 people walking and talking.
Oh,
I love that idea. Yeah.
I love that. Did you direct it?
Yeah.
I mean, you shot it. Oh,
Yeah.
how lovely. That's exciting. So was it 2 characters?
Yep. Yeah.
Ooh.
Beautiful. In a couple? Was it a
Yeah, they were on this date, and there's like this news thing that like the world's gonna end. There's like a nuclear threat or whatever. So they leave the bar when things get crazy, and they just walk and talk and connect. It's called Connection at the End of the World.
Oh my gosh.
But it was rough though, because it was freezing out, and we shot it as a oneer, and it's 15 minutes.
Wait.
So
Wait. Did this have Jolette in it? Is that
oh
her name?
yeah. Joelle
Joelle.
Velez. Yeah.
I briefly met her. You knew her more than I did. But
Yeah.
I like briefly spoke with her, and so then when I see her on things, it's so cool. So she did say it was cold and that it was a oneer, so that's hard.
Oh, she was great.
It wasn't like it was 2 minutes, right? It was longer than that.
It was 16. It was 16 minutes, and we took 4 takes overall. But yeah,
Oh my gosh.
they were incredible, because like just sticking it out for that, I really appreciate it.
Wow.
I told everybody up front, I'm like, all right, I really want this as a oneer. It's gonna be super challenging,
Yeah.
but when people are down for that kind of like ambition or whatever, it's a really great like bonding, and like I don't know, it's just when you have like-minded people, and I'm sure you could talk about this later about first chair, but yeah, Joelle's great. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Elena, the
She's
other,
gonna connect. I don't know what happened. I love her stuff though. She looks so interesting.
yeah, she's also really funny too. A lot of her stuff is comedy. This was a little less comedy, but yeah, it's awesome that you guys know her.
So cool. I remember seeing that and I was like, I knew it had to be the same thing, because no one does a 60-minute oneer. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Good for you. That's incredible. Honestly, everybody on board. That's so insane.
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
It was fun, and first time I even did any of this. I write a lot, but finally, but I don't want to get carried away. This is your show.
That was your first time directing?
Yeah.
Oh my
Sorry.
god, you should be
Yeah.
so proud of yourself. That's so sick.
I'm excited to get it out there, but
Wow.
yeah, it was
Not
fun.
much editing has to be done.
Yeah. Luckily, the
Just-
camera guy, he's really good on the technical side, so he's got all the files with him. But we hop on Zoom for, I think we were on for 4 hours on Monday, just going through like sound design and kind of like
Whoa,
going through it. But
that's insane. Well,
technically,
that's really
editing
fun.
is easy because it's all there, right? It's just
Yeah,
the sequence,
right.
but yeah.
Editing. That's so exciting. Wow.
Yeah. So
Here's that.
I'll segue that into something about First Chair. So your director, you wrote it. Are
did,
you
yes.
are you
Well,
editing
I
it, or
co-wrote,
you
kind of.
co-wrote? Okay.
So it's interesting because I did a short film of mine, and then in October of 2023, Wits End, and I wanted to direct something because I wasn't really strong at writing. I'm still not at all. I'm not really good at writing, but I was like, I want to do something that's good writing, but direct it. So I found this website, and this girl, her name was, well, a bunch of people had their stuff on there, but Sarah specifically, I found her with the script that was like about a loved one on a beach or something. And I was like, oh, this sounds interesting. And she sent me the whole script, and I read it, and I was like, this is really good, but definitely not something that I would direct. It's too like gushy, lovey-dovey. And then she's like, well, I actually have 5 other ones if you want to read any of those. And so I read all of them, and the last one I read was First Chair, I really liked it, but I was like, I want to make it a little bit more me. So we spent like 6 months, maybe more, like 8 months, going back and forth on like editing it for like so long to make it a little bit more sinister. And then I added there's like a scene in like a rehearsal room, like a backstage room, and I added that in, and then like we've added a few characters in the final scene. So like we kind of, her idea, I just made it more me, because I didn't want to direct something that I wasn't fully like all like obsessed with. So that kind of helped, being able to like morph it into like kind of what I wanted, which was really fun experience. Never done that.
Do you have experience in the orchestral world?
Good question. No, I
No,
don't know
okay.
anything. My father is a musician, but he plays the guitar, and so we don't. And like, I grew up knowing that like he was in a band before I was born, and like whatever, and like music's been a part of my life in that kind of way, where like he would play, and like I took guitar and piano lessons, but like nothing serious. So when I read this, I was like, it'll be easy to find an orchestra, and it'll be easy, but it's kind of hard not to think that way when Kristina is a part of this project, because she is like, no, we'll get it done and it'll happen and we'll figure it out. And I'm like, you're right. Oh my God, we could get Dwayne The Rock Johnson to star in it. And then
There you go.
no. But like, that's what it feels like. But it does happen. Like, Kristina just knows how to get things to happen. So like, I kind of was like, before Kristina was like on the project, like I struggled really hard with the music aspect because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And then Kristina like came on full time, and she's like, no, we can do this. And I was like, I guess we have to. And then everything literally just like fell into place like putty. It was crazy because we spent so much time working.
It was good though, because as soon as she was like, this is what I want, I'm like, okay, that's what you want, then that's what we're gonna do. It was so much easier. As soon as she's like, she knew what she wanted, I'm like, it's not gonna be hard. So we
crazy.
fed up our energies together. Like we had to both be positive, because if we weren't, we were like, you know what, we don't need to go out today. Like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
We don't need to go out today.
Yeah, and like, we need to like network, and if I'm like, I don't want to network, she's like, we're still gonna go network. And then if she's like, I don't want to go, I'm like, you're gonna go. So it's very good yin and yang. But no, we struggled for a long time to find the music part of it, because I knew what I wanted, but I didn't know what steps to take to like find exactly what we were looking for. But step number 1 in my mind was finding our lead, because I didn't care. I wanted somebody for the lead who played the violin, but they didn't need to act, but they had an open mind to it. So like someone that was like interested in like always like wanting to like do that or like watch his movies different, like similar to me, like me and like someone like my next door neighbor, we probably watch his movies differently, but I wanted someone who like thought of the little things and like was interested in that aspect. And I got so lucky when we found James Sanders because he changed the entire short film. It was insane.
That's awesome, and that was actually going to be my follow-up too. Was going to be, I know I read that James Sanders, this was his first time, and just how you got to that. But I mean, like, how was it working with him after you guys wrapped? I mean, how did he feel about it? Is he going to be interested in acting again, or is this a one-off for him?
That's a great question. He was Beyonce on set. Like this, he was bro Beyonce. He would show up and be like on top of his stuff. We were like kind of gagged. We're like, because then I remember I'd walk over and I'd be like, okay, here's like the script. You can like, go through it. There's not too much stuff, but like being a short film. But I'm like, let's like talk through it and whatever. And he'd be like, no, I know. I mean, like, yeah, let's go through it. But he like wouldn't even grab his script. He would just no. I'm like, I'm obsessed with you. Kristina, what do you think? Do you think he's interested in acting again, maybe?
Probably if we do it, because I don't think he realizes how blessed he was to be on our set. So our times were amazing, in my opinion. We saw the sun, and we still saw the sun when we left. Like it was a good time. I think if he works with anyone else, it'd be different. And he
it was. We had him. The longest day was 9 to 5.
Wow.
Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, he did kind of have it good. That's hilarious. Yeah, we were really, because we spread it out for 3 days, and it made it so much easier. We were gonna do just 2. Well, we were gonna do only 1, and then we were gonna do just 2, and then last minute we were like, we need to do 3 because that'll be an extremely long day. And a lot of the people you see on screen are not actors professionally, so we're like, we need to cut some people some slack because they don't know. But it's really funny because the 2 days before or the day before, we sent out a call sheet and he's like, you only need me for like 2 hours, right?
Oh no.
And I was like, I call him and I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, what do you mean? You need me there for 8 hours? I was like, I love you so much. I need you there for 8 hours. And he was like, okay, I'll be there. I'm like, it's so funny, but no, he was excellent. Like the greatest, like even little things where there's a scene where clearly I do it a lot, but he had to like pick at his skin because he was nervous and we wanted to show that, I don't know, I did that kind of to show, because he's not really, his character Charlie doesn't really show it on the surface like outwardly until he has like an outburst at the end, but he's kind of quiet and to himself, so I wanted to show that he was anxious and whatever. And so I was like, yeah, you're just gonna pick at your fingers. And I remember he like comes up to me and he's like, I don't know what you mean by that, why do you pick at your fingers? And I was like, because I'm anxious. But he's just such a like, he's so well put together, he wouldn't even comprehend that my finger would be bleeding in 2 separate spots. So it was really fun. I loved working with him, and I'm so grateful that I just found him and randomly emailed him and was like, this is incredibly weird, but if you're interested, I would love for you to audition. And then we kind of did like a Zoom call, and he was like, yeah, I'm interested, but like, what does this entail? And I was like, well, here's the script. And then we met like a bunch of times, and then finally I like heard him say the script because he didn't say the lines, and I took him to meet, I don't know if you know Mickey O'Sullivan or not, but Mickey, he's an actor in Chicago, and he does some teaching in some classes that Kristina and I have just met him on another set, I think. And I gave James to Mickey, and I was like, just make him more comfortable with the script. It seems like he knows how to say the lines and how the feelings are not just like surface level and everything like stems from like something else. Like you're not just angry, you know, it's not just like I'm mad. So I like wanted that to come through him, and it seemed like that like was night and day. And then after that, he was like on top of it, and we really lucked out because without James as a lead, because A, he could play the violin, and B, he portrayed the character beautifully. So we definitely needed him, and he was such a joy. We love him. We are gonna follow him around on tour, and we're gonna do it forever. Which Kristina, he has a show on the 16th, so maybe we'll go to that.
So we already know.
So we'll be there. He has a show on the 16th, so put that in your calendar.
He plays with an orchestra, or is this like a solo thing he does? What orchestra does he play with?
It's the Sinfonietta, the Chicago Sinfonietta. They're doing a show. I believe it's at the Auditorium Theater again, but it was so fun because before filming, Kristina and I went to everything. Anything in the city that was happening where we could like talk to raise funds, we would go to. So there was like some like networking events and like other things, and just to like see James too, we would go to all of his stuff. So, and at one point, Kristina, you were like, after this, we need to like still go to this stuff because it's so much fun. And I was like, yeah. So we're gonna go and support our mans for real.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Great. This project alone has given us amazing opportunities. We were able to go to all those events, like you said. We've been networking. We really kind of found our voices, I think, a little bit. It was a great project.
That is so sweet of you to say. Yes, found our voices. What do you mean by that?
We can go to networking events and say what our names are now.
Oh my god, okay, I see what you're saying. Like we're more confident.
Oh
my god, Kristina, it's it's night and day from the beginning of First Chair to like from Wits End to First Chair. Yeah. It's night and day because people would be like, what do you do? And you'd be like, in film. And I'd be like, I have a production company, you're a producer. And now there's no hesitation. You're like, this is me. Your website looks great. You're on top of things. I'm excited to do some more stuff. This is my gal.
Yeah, that's awesome. So how exactly did you find James? Did you just Google?
I slid into his DMs.
Yeah, slid into his DMs. Just.
I did.
Looked up violinist meet or whatever, some app. Yeah.
Violinistmeet.org. No, I think I did. I think it was genuinely. Is it supposed to be so silly?
Is that a bed sheet?
Yes, it's art.
Oh.
But this part is supposed to be up a little, Sean.
Oh, whoopsies. All right, my bad. I didn't see the vision. That's what it was. I just didn't see the vision.
Now he sees the vision, the whole picture.
Yeah.
Well, and there's powder everywhere.
Okay.
Don't inhale.
Whatever. But it is a sheet, okay?
Okay.
But this is supposed to be up like that. But
I gotcha. Cool. Very cool. Very cool.
No, I think I literally just Googled. I Googled for so long Chicago violinists because I don't know. I really emailed a bunch of them, maybe like not that many, like 7, but he was like the first one, I think, because you look up Chicago violinists and he's like up there. I don't know why, but I also do it. Chicago violinists. I just found jamessandersviolin.com and it came up and I saw his email and I was like, this guy looks like maybe he could get it, but he wasn't old enough for the part. That was the thing. So we kind of tweaked some things in the script so that he could, because he's supposed to be a little bit more outdated, and James is only 60, so we had to 60 or 50. I think he's 60. Looks 50. I think he's 60.
Next 20.
And I just messaged him, and he was the only one. Maybe it was more than 7. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. But he was the only one that got back to me and was like, yeah, I'm interested. No other violinist got back to me at all. So
It really helped that he was awesome.
Yeah, and he was the only one that was like optimistic and like super like down to be like, actually, can you tell me more about this? Because I found him at a good point in his life, he told me. I don't want to speak for him because he's like, I didn't have that much going on and it was like a lot, but that was back in June, and then we pushed production back a bunch of months and months and months. 6 months. Oh no.
Wow.
6 months, 7 months.
Yeah.
June to February.
Yeah.
And was that 7 months? Yeah. And he would check in and be like, just want to see how things are, and then I'd be like, we're still trying to find an orchestra, and he'd be like, here's a few that I think might be possibly interested and like would do anything he can to like help, and like because a lot of them were union, so they wanted $65 per hour per person, which would end up being like literally a lot of money, like thousands and thousands of dollars. But I couldn't afford it, so we couldn't afford it. So yeah, luckily we found an all volunteer orchestra, and then we just donated to them.
That's awesome.
Because how generous of them to volunteer their time. They're all so sweet. I love them all so much.
It was sweet of them to thank us for being there. I'm like, no, thank you. It wouldn't have happened otherwise.
Yeah, it was. Someone took a photo with me, and I was like, this will not be on Netflix, but I appreciate you and I love you, but I'll take a photo with you. It was really funny. I should tell my family that. They'll think I'm really cool. But yeah. I was like, you won't see this anywhere other than like the premiere, but I love that you want to
Yes.
It was really cute. I was like, that's fun. So the girl violinists were everything. They were so sweet. The men tried to be like macho and like, we'll like come and do our work and then leave. And the girls were like,
of course.
Ah!
Yeah.
It was like cute.
Yeah. Was it finding that orchestra? Is that what delayed you, or were there other obstacles that you faced with creating this?
We had a few obstacles.
She said we had a few. Did you want to know them? No.
I mean, whatever you want to share, but
I will share everything with you.
Okay, sounds good.
The orchestra
sounds good.
is the main thing because I wanted it to be most authentic as possible. So,
we wanted players to play.
Yeah. Because time was getting really crunched when we were supposed to film in June 2024. So this past June, it was like really, time was crunching, and then at the time it was like we will like send out a thing for like people to come with their instruments, and I was like, yeah, but we can't just like on Facebook be like, hi, if you have an instrument and you want to be an extra. I was like, yeah, but it's really difficult to make that look like an orchestra if it's like random people just showing up, because it'll be, if you put a random post out there for people to show up with their instrument, you'll get 50 people with a guitar, and it's like, well, we don't need that. So like it was really difficult to be like to go an avenue where it looked the most realistic and sounded the best. So I finally reached out to the Chicago Citywide Symphony Orchestra, and it's all volunteer based. So when I messaged the music director, I was like, hi, and I like sent them the spiel, and I was like, this is what we're looking to do if you're interested, blah blah blah. And then I get an email back being like, Cassidy, this is Jason, we've worked together before. And I was like, so it actually happened to be the music director of the orchestra is a composer for short film music, and it was he had written the music for a short film that I produced that was like a friend of mine, Allie. He worked with her on that, and I hadn't gotten much communication with him because it was really just the director and their process back and forth, but I happened to have worked with him, so he was like, this sounds awesome and I know who you are, so let's do a meeting, like let's get, like at least get him in the door was like what we needed, because a lot of the people wouldn't reply to the email. I maybe sent like 100 emails to orchestras, maybe like 80 at the least, but
Yeah.
so many, because at one point we're gonna film in Detroit. So I was like, I have more connections there than Chicago. So I was like, well, maybe that's an option. But then I was like, but then getting the cast all out there is gonna be so hard. But I was like, but if we don't have an orchestra, we don't have a film. So it was kind of difficult. But having Jason, having already known who Jason was and he knew me, definitely is the reason that we had an orchestra, I think. Not that he wouldn't work with someone he hasn't worked with, he definitely would, but it like expedited it really quickly, because he's like, I know you and I trust you, let's just hop on a call and tell me what you need. And I was like, I didn't know you were a freaking music director, dude, of a whole orchestra. So he wrote a piece for the orchestra, and they played it on set 7,000 times as we were getting a bunch of different footage and different angles and shots from like all the way up, down, and then all the way at their level on the stage and whatever.
And shooting at the Copernicus where they normally play.
Yes. And oh my God, you're so right, Kristina. You are so right. I forgot about that. Yeah, we got the theater because that's where they do their holiday shows, and we were originally gonna do it somewhere else, but they got us the Copernicus Center for a fraction of what we're gonna pay for the other one. So weird how things work, and it's all because of Kristina. She said no, it isn't, but yes, it is, because she just been believing in me, and it's what makes miracles happen. But yeah, that helped things a lot. That's not what it's called. The Boy in the Mirror.
The Boy. Well, I agree.
Did you watch it with the English dubbed or with subtitles?
I haven't watched it yet. I don't know where it's streaming.
I watched it with the dubs because that's mostly what was in theaters.
And it's Robert Pattinson.
Yeah,
again.
yeah, Robert Pattinson.
I'm obsessed. What'd you think about his Batman?
Oh, I loved that one.
Me too.
The Batman,
oh my God,
yeah.
Greg Fraser is everything to me.
Yeah.
I wish he won the Oscar, but it's okay.
Yeah, because he did. You're talking cinematographer, right?
Yeah.
Because he did Dune. Yep. Yeah, he's awesome.
I love him so much. He's everything to me. Yeah, I thought Batman was great, and I'm excited for the next one. It's supposed to be like winter theme with that winter time, not theme. Winter time which should be great. I love the like winter villains of
like Mr. Freeze.
Yeah.
Mr. Freeze is probably gonna show up. Yeah.
Definitely.
I was gonna ask something. I got sidetracked. There was something you were talking about. Then I was trying to extend the call time, and now I'm gonna spend that extension trying to figure out. But in the meantime, so you two have been working together a lot. How did that start? What began your working relationship?
I'm so glad you asked. Kristina, you told the story.
So we met on a feature one time or another. We were both there. Honestly, I was talking to someone about how I didn't know your name until like maybe our third meet.
Oh,
I was
that's
like,
weird.
I know. Because I'm sure you said it more than once. I'm like, oh, she's by the chips.
What was your role on set?
So if you look, my name is not my name, and I am like part of the department or something. I don't know what my actual role was. I did so many things. PA for sure, probably, but I did second P, and I picked up one of the actors once, and a lot of other things. It was a lot of things.
So, did you find it on Facebook? Because that's how I found it.
Yes, I found it on Facebook.
So we worked on a feature film together, but it was ideal because they only filmed on the weekends, because that's when everyone was available. So I saw Kristina like every weekend for like 2 months. If I showed up every time, I didn't always show. They knew that. I didn't just no show. And we kind of, dare we say, trauma bonded, because it was not a good time. It was like a fun time, but when you
It was
work
a different time.
yes, when
It
you
was
work on more sets, you realize what a proper ran set looks like and like how to make people more comfortable. And I think they had too many hands on set that
Mm.
it was like it impacted negatively on the set that was run. Like sometimes you need to just like send people home if you have too many, or like, you know, put them to work. But
Yeah.
it was at a one point where, you know, there was like 7 PAs and only like 2 setups the whole day. So we're just sitting there, just like waiting to do stuff, and we got to do a lot of talking. So that's how we met, and that was 2023, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Was
summer.
it the same year? Oh, summer, and then you did in October.
I think so, because Kristina was on my first short film. Kristina was script supervisor, which is so funny, and because you killed it, and it was random. I don't know why I had you do that.
I think because you talked about it, and I was so eager to be on another set. So I was like, take me with you.
Yeah, you're like, I'll do whatever. And yeah, since then it was kind of, it's really fun watching Kristina go from like, because even when you were just a PA, I don't want to word it that way. Even though you were a PA starting out on that feature we worked on, you have just evolved, like, you know so much about the set now. It's insane in just a short amount of time. Like, some people will, you know, PA for a long time because that's what they enjoy, but you just kept going. You're just like, it's so cool watching you like budget and stuff. I'm like, what? You used to just get me like Snickers and place some pretty on the table. So it's cool that we both are kind of like doing different stuff now. It's weird.
Yeah. I think the opportunities definitely have helped us grow a lot, and I cannot wait to see more things from you, Cassidy. And that's me, but like you're really exciting to be around.
You're so PR trained. Like, what is happening? She said, and I'm so excited.
Cassidy loves baby animals.
You're so PR trained. I'm obsessed with you. That's hilarious. But thank you. Excited to work with you.
So what was this feature? Has it come out?
It's gonna be on Prime, allegedly. Really good, actually. I kind of regret the way I started talking about it because I don't really think we trauma bonded, but like it was just such an interesting set to be on compared to like ours. Right?
It was just it was just different. I didn't experience, well, that was my first film ever, so I would have probably scraped the gum off of anyone's shoe because I was so excited. But like it was just definitely being on other sets, it was a different experience.
Yeah. No, the movie's called Jada, and it's directed by C Rose, but she also goes by Caprice Rose.
Caprice Williams.
I wonder, Caprice Williams. Oh, she got a lot of names. I wonder if it'll come up with Google. Actually, now I need to know.
Yeah.
It does. Caprice Williams. It comes up on. Wait, now where does C Rose come from?
That's her production company.
Okay.
Part.
Yeah. It was just and it's funny because we went to the premiere and it was a great premiere, super cool. Like everyone dressed up really fun and but there were so many like inappropriate sex scenes. It was really interesting watching those because I wasn't on set for any of those, so I had no idea those were in the script. Also, one thing I did learn, I don't know if this is something I want to be discussing, but I guess I'll say it anyway. One thing I did learn on that set was that I really wished a like script was like floating around, or like I wished that I wished as a PA that I could know what we were filming, but it wasn't an option on that set. And so I make that an option on all of the sets that we've done since then, because I'm like, I would hate to be a PA and be like, I wonder what we're doing. Like, I would love for people to like read the whole thing. Like, here, take the script home. You're working on the project. It just seems like I didn't realize that wasn't popular at the time, that like you don't, as a PA, I was like, why would we be filming something but we have no idea what it is, and like I'm helping out, and it turns out that's standard, but I didn't like that, so I always give the PAs like a script if they want to read it, because I'm like, you're working on the movie, it's not fair that you don't know anything about it except like a synopsis that like I briefly gave you, like, but anyway.
Yeah.
Were you there the first day?
Was I wearing a what?
Were you on set for first day?
I don't remember. Maybe.
Oh, you would have remembered, I think.
Oh, then no, because I asked for a script after that, and they were like, no.
Yeah, I didn't know. Did you give your script, Sean?
So you're talking about like when I was doing my thing?
Yeah.
They had already memorized it, but I had it pulled up on my phone just in case. But everybody who was there had already read it, it was very small. It was me, camera guy, the two leads, and then I had a friend who was acting as like a PA for us. And they had all read it already.
Okay.
And
It's nice because it makes it smooth. Like,
It does, because everyone knows. Like, even on set, we're like, "Are we doing this one?" Like, yes, we are. Look at that. Yeah.
and they'd be like, where are we filming next? Why are we all standing in the kitchen? It's like, because we have a kitchen scene.
yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
That's something I noticed helps a lot on set if everybody's read it.
Yeah, on the same page. There's this project that I'm gonna help out with as a PA. This friend of mine named Derek Brash, he's based out in like Elburn or something. He's making this thing. It's like he makes like these like horror movies and kind of goofy sometimes like genre films, but everybody, whether you're acting in it or if you're a PA, he had us all meet. He invited us all to the library to do like a script read. They emailed out the most updated versions of the script to everybody who's a part of the project. So I think there's definitely some value to be added, just sharing it with everybody who's involved.
Yeah, and I feel like it gets people more excited. And like when people are excited to be there, like the product is just better. Because if people are like in a bad mood and like the director like yells at everybody or like whatever and everyone's like hostile, it's like no one's having fun, everyone wants to go home. They're not gonna like put their best foot forward. So it was always interesting to me when like you kind of can't be in a bad mood and like run a set.
Yeah, I agree.
Because then like your movie's gonna be in a bad mood.
Yeah,
I guess the way to say it.
Yeah, there's always a respectful way, even if there's like maybe some conflicts on set. I mean, my day job is working at a factory as a safety specialist or whatever for a chemical factory, and
Okay.
project management is like a competency you could find in any career. So there can be conflicts, but there's always like a respectful way to go about doing it. And if you're someone like a director or something, you have to have those leadership abilities to navigate that. It's just like even at my current job, whenever like someone's like upset and taking it out on everyone, I'm just like, why? Like, what's
Right?
like,
It's
why can't
so
you just like bring it in?
awkward, too.
Yeah. So I
Like-
definitely I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, so that's why I'm always like I'm not against like, oh here, you can read my script on what scene we're reading. I'm not Christopher Nolan where like I can't let this get leaked to whatever. It's like we're just doing an indie project in Chicago. Like read it and like keep it and let me know what you think. Whatever. Like I'm not gonna. I don't know. I always find it interesting when it's like, no, you can't read it because you're just the PA. It's like I'm working on it just as much as you are. That's why I'm like, I don't know. I find that interesting, but
Yeah, it's like implementing a hierarchy when there doesn't need to be one, you know?
no, and it's like it's equally when I'm directing something, it's equally my movie as everyone else's because we're spending the same amount of time there on set, and like I'm in pre-production for like what feels like a decade, and so like it means different to me, but like it's equally yours, just in a different way. And like I would hope that people would, if they enjoyed being on set and enjoyed being around who we have on set and who we choose to work with, that they are like proud to be like, yeah, this is what I've done, and it's like that, and it's not in a way where it's like I don't claim that as something that would be mine. It's like, well, you worked on it, so like you could say, yeah, I worked on Wits End, Bed Rot, and First Chair. It's like, cool. He doesn't have to be like, I was a PA, so I was nothing. It's like, well, we couldn't have done it without you. So it's like it's equally yours. I don't know. I just find it interesting when directors are so like, yeah, it's a hierarchy. It's like it doesn't have to be so weird like that. Like Jesus, it's not like you're Spielberg.
And this
Like,
is exactly
Right.
why I said if he works anywhere else, he might not feel the same way. It's a family environment. Like we'll all make fun of each other together. We all have equal rights to say whatever we want to each other. I will ask someone if they want water as much as they will ask me if I need a water. Like we have such a good time together.
yeah, that's true. Okay, full circle moment.
Yeah.
And that's why Bro Yonsei is got the hard truth coming.
No, that's really great to have, though. Definitely be proud of that, because even because I'm kind of an outsider, especially when it comes to the Chicago film scene. I've only recently been trying to like dabble into it just to kind of meet and try to network. But like any other field, there's ego. And when you have people, especially writers and directors, I mean, you do have that problem. You run into a lot of egos. And when it comes to any sort of project, you need to be able to put that ego aside. And like when I was doing my thing last weekend, every time we shot, I was holding onto the back of our camera guy, walking backwards with him, making sure he didn't like trip and fall.
Right.
Like that was
Yeah.
it. Like I wasn't like sitting in a chair like calling through a megaphone. Like it's,
Right.
you know, you're right there with them. It's like
Yeah.
mutuality, I think, is something that you need that everywhere. That's how you get a good set. You get that mutuality, and it's awesome to hear that that's how you guys, at least with the projects you've done thus far, I mean, that's really great to hear that. And
Did
yeah, you
you
better
know-
warn James, let him know that he's not going to get it anywhere else.
We've let him know. We've let him.
Yeah.
Kristina
I
did.
have.
She was like, just so you know, we're really cool and
Yeah.
nice and awesome and really humble.
Yeah.
And next set, yeah, we did. We were like, because he was like, maybe this will get me going on working on more sets. And I was like, that's great. Kristina chimes in and she's like, they might not be as nice as us.
Yeah.
Because, but no, did you notice that on your directing your first project that as soon as you yell cut, it's like everybody turns to you because they, especially the actors, because they're like, what did you think? So if you have to kind of bring the energy too, because if you yell cut and you're like, cool, okay, let's move on, or let's do it again, in your case, let's run it through again, if you do say it like that, they think without saying it maybe that their performance maybe wasn't good. But if you're like, that was awesome, like I always have to, like, sometimes it's really awkward, but I'm like, heck yeah, guys, we killed that one, or whatever, and I'm like, love it. And you'll just tell that there's just a way you have to kind of like be like, I like that take, do it again, we're gonna do another one for safety. But if you're like, that was good, okay, we're moving on.
That's
The
what I
act-
noticed with Sun for your first. I'm like, Cassidy, was that it?
Yeah.
No, yeah, I really, really like that. But you're like, no, cut. I'm like,
Yeah,
You
I
like- you
know.
like
My
it?
first one, I was
Simple.
like, cut, because I was like so nervous. I was like, cut, it was good, yeah. But my second one, I'm like, cut. 'Cause did you notice though when you yelled cut that they'd be like, or maybe you went through it so many times that they didn't look right at you?
are you
Yeah.
gonna be conscious of it?
So it was kind of funny because the camera guy had the headset on and we had him mic'd up, so sometimes they would talk because the last scene is on a bench and we pull backwards from him. So like I tap him on the shoulder and be like, we good? And then he'll just be like this, and I'll just be like, cut. And then obviously each time I tell them, because they nailed it every time, which
Wow.
memorizing 15 pages of just talking and then walking for those 15 minutes and just trying to like get it all from memory. I can't stress enough how great Elena Wiss and Joelle Velez, wonderful people. If you ever come across them, they're great.
Women.
Yeah, exactly. But
I'm assuming.
I of course said they did great, but something that I appreciated in post so far is that they're kind of hot mic'd because they have the mic. So when we call cut, I hear later that them like kind of talking to each other like, oh, I think we did really good. And it's just like this pure like, you know, I really like that, because to me it shows them that they're really involved. They're really excited about how their performance was, and it makes me more excited just to experience that performance as well. So I guess to answer your question, I mean, yeah, it's I try to be as reassuring as I can. If I didn't like anything, which that didn't happen, all of our issues were technical, which that's easy to communicate, because it's like, look, y'all did great, but the camera fucked up here, so we got to run it back.
That's crazy. Good for them, because that's so much dialogue, and not even that, but just like the speed of their walking, and like when they sit down on what lines and stuff is so interesting. So that's incredible. Good for you guys. That sounds awesome. I can't wait to see it.
But something that, since it wasn't on set, so we did a couple rehearsals through Zoom by just reading the script. That's where I chimed in as it pertained to like maybe a certain cadence to a line. We would play off ideas on how the emotion should be. So that's where I think I was more of a director than I actually was on set, because we just ran with it. But I think giving feedback at any point, like I said, there's always a respectful way to do it. You just have to know what you want. Like literally, that's like the first thing. And you're working on a fourth already, or
I mean, yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, but this one's gonna be a feature, so big steps for Cassidy and Kristina, because now we just have to. I wrote the script, and I'm on like my 16th rewrite, because now I'm adding like a love interest to like up the stakes. So we're planning on filming summer of 2026, probably. Maybe May, maybe September, so it's not like scorching. But we have to do 2025 is for like grants. That's what we're up to.
Yeah, we learned a lot about crowdfunding, so we're looking into it now.
I'm sick of that. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm so grateful to everyone that even took time to like read our crowdfunder that we posted, and donate, let alone donate. But it's like so draining to be like, hey, give me your money or I'm gonna kill your family. That's what it feels like every time you ask someone to donate. You're
Which is crazy. We talk about how generous we feel we are. Like, where's the generosity back?
I can already tell you, just in life, it's never. It never comes back. It's never reciprocated.
Well, and it was crazy because we rose a lot of money right out the gate, and then you're like, yes, and then like, wait,
rose
a little bit more.
Rose from the ground. No, we raised. Is that what you mean?
No, it's still rose. You rose up.
You rose a lot of money. Period.
You rose money. Excuse me, ma'am. I'm an educator.
Rose a lot of money with the tulips and the daffodils. No, we did at first. Of course, that's what you want, is to do like all the money at first, and like, so it's good. Well, we had a very successful campaign, but it will like, especially because like, there's like people I know that have donated in my life personally, and so like, the thought that like I have to see them and like, I don't know, the fact like I have to just see these people again and like thank them in person, and it's like,
but
I don't know how to thank people when they give you stuff. It's like, I want to give them the money back and be like, here's your refund, but you can't because it's been spent. Sorry, Uncle Lee, your money's gone.
But you actually made it instead of like, hey, no, it's coming. It's gonna happen. We did it.
And that's the thing. I don't even want to have a premiere, but we have to, because all these people gave us money. So we want to be generous, and we also want to raise more money for the orchestra we worked with, and the Copernicus that we had. So you'll be receiving a premiere invite, I'm sure, Sean. So we'll see you there. But the thought of having
What's the venue?
The Copernicus Center.
Copernicus.
Oh, so okay, so you're playing
Back
it there.
Back
Okay.
at it,
Yeah,
yeah.
so we get to have it there. So it's in Jefferson Park. I don't know if you've been there, but they have like an annex room, and we'll probably be in there. But yeah,
We're
it's in
kind of locked on the date.
I know, waiting to hear back. So beginning of the summer at some point. So
Yeah, just let me
Well,
know. I'll be there. If it's on a weekend, I'll be there.
it will be
Okay,
Yes.
cool. Yeah.
probably
Just
Friday.
Friday weekends too, yeah.
Yeah, Friday night. So
Yeah.
But yeah, it's extremely hard. So we're gonna do grants for the next one because I don't even know. Honestly, might be I don't know the word for it. This might be a bigger bite than we can chew. What is that? I don't know what that saying is.
We'll go
You
with
might bite
that.
off a little bit more than you could chew. Yeah.
We might be biting off
That's
more
it.
than we can chew because it's just a lot doing a
No, we're hungry.
But
That's
period.
yep. There it is. That's a spirit.
But Kristina is very much like, because in the script there is a part where they basically get to stay. The leads get to stay at a very, very nice hotel, and it being very, very nice plays a big role in the film. So then I was like, I texted Kristina just the other day, and I was like, remember, this is gonna be really hard because she's read the script obviously, and I'm like, remember how there's a hotel? It's gonna be so hard. She's like, no, it won't. We already have a connection at another hotel. We can find another one. I was like her energy is what saves me.
Yeah.
Like, Kristina, you
Chill.
saved my life. I love you so much. But no, it's works out because I actually know someone that lives in one of the nicest hotels in Chicago because they also have like condos, and someone lives there.
And we
that I
just ate there like 3 days before that connect.
Yeah, and I was like, and it was right after I texted Kristina, and I was like, turns out someone I know will let us film there for free. So we'll just have to find a nice lobby somewhere. But it's like, things just are, you can't just force things. That's one thing that we learned in this whole process, because timing will find it, and who you know will.
We just got to meet more people, I think.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's been a really weird, life is weird. I don't know how things work out is bizarre a little bit, but
Yeah, they always say that you wanna network sideways, not always try to network up, because the more you
Ooh.
network sideways, you accumulate resources, and that's all you need to like make something solid, right? So
I love that, network sideways.
I need an example. What does that mean? What's sideways?
So you know how when people talk networking, a lot of people trying to get into something, they're going to look for someone who's known in that field, close enough for them to talk to. So a lot of people strive to get like a big name in their project or work on something with these large names. So they're trying to network upward. But a lot of creators, I mean, that I even know personally, it's more, I think, effective to network sideways, because that way you're meeting people, you guys are on the same wavelength, you want the same thing, and you kind of use that motivation to get stuff done. So that's something I've been trying to do too recently. Is
Yeah, like you're not gonna reach out to like a CEO, but like talk to the employees.
exactly, yeah. Like if you're an employee and you're trying to do a good job at work, you're going to want to network with your fellow peers. You know, you're not going to right away be talking to the bosses being like, give me a raise. You know, you gotta
I don't know. That's kind of how I work.
you're just like,
Why did I know you were gonna say that? You're like, I actually am just gonna go up.
I mean, if it works, it works though. There's
I
nothing
think
wrong with it.
Maybe I'm just too annoying about it. But I'd like to just so my mindset, which is probably me to a fault, but I know I don't have to be somewhere, but I am letting you know that I chose to be here. So it's kind of like when I'm like at work, I'm like, just so you know, I could quit tomorrow. Could I quit tomorrow? But it just means like I'm there to enjoy my time.
Yeah.
So I will talk to everyone the same. Everyone's getting a high from me. Doesn't matter who you are.
You're so funny because it's so true when we're at. So we used to go. There's events we used to go to, and instead of like talking with the other people, she'll talk to the person who's hosting the event. I'm like, don't talk, they're busy.
No, they're not. They're here to do this.
Yeah, and then she ends up talking to them, and I'm like, okay, then you guys, you gotta just go right for the top. It's actually so funny. She's probably gonna email Sean Baker's team tomorrow and be like, I saw you won an Oscar.
Sean, I know you're probably not busy right now because you just won.
Yeah.
You're gonna relax. But since
Right.
you're relaxing,
know that you're gonna be relaxing right now.
I mean, some
listen-
people do appreciate that tenacity. I mean, just it doesn't
go
hurt to
for
just go for it, you know?
Crazy. No one does it like Kristina. It's so funny.
When I was casting for this, it wasn't like any serious offers I was putting out, but I reached out to a couple like known or somewhat known actors to their agent, and like I think 2 of them responded. One of them was just like, this person's not interested, and the other one said like 5,000, and I was like, I don't disagree with that price, but that's too much for me personally. I mean, I'm not going to do all
Wow.
that.
Can I
But-
ask who they were?
So the one that the agent still responded but just said no in a nice way was Ayo Edebiri.
Oh, slay.
Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just because like I figured she might be in Chicago, like she might live around here.
Yeah, I think when
and that's
they
what
are
I was
here,
looking for.
I think when they're here filming The Bear, I think they live right around the corner from me in Old Town because
really?
my friends also live over there, and they see them all the time at my Jewel-Osco. So they have to live in the building that's right over there. So that makes sense. I mean, that's not a bad.
At least it was a nice no, which is nice
Yeah.
because they responded.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
they
saying.
have
Yeah,
to respond at all. So that's awesome.
yeah. And then the $5,000 person, you might not know her, Catherine Corcoran. She was in the first Terrifier movie, and now she mostly does like a podcast and like, I think she's pretty well connected with a lot of the horror community. But yeah, so her manager also responded, but I think I reached out to some other people too. Kind of like doing the Kristina thing, you know, just like screw it, just like, man, you gotta just shoot it. But
You might need us on your team, is what it sounds like.
yeah.
It was a good time.
It
My
is
next
so
project, yeah.
I got Kristina on my project, and we found an orchestra. So Kristina and a location to film in. Things just happen when Kristina's around.
Well, there's always going to be something, right? It's just a matter of like having that persistence, and it sounds like Kristina's
Yeah.
got that like a shark in bloody water, you know, just like boom, go right towards it. But
I'm gonna get a shark tattoo now.
oh, there you go.
And then you'll look back in a couple years and be like, I don't even like sharks, really. So I
Yeah,
don't know why I got this. You could just say it's for Jaws.
Okay.
yeah.
But yeah, that's a smart idea to reach out to local. For this one, we did just like, so before Kristina was fully producing First Chair, I had a different like production company working on it. But then when we took a break in June and came back, they were like, we're no longer really interested. And I was like, that's okay. Don't worry about it. I'll still support y'all. And that's when, Kristina actually attended that meeting with me, which was so random because I just had you attend to like
Be there.
be there for me. And then they were like, yeah, we're not interested. And I was like, well, Kristina, in this meeting, we're like on Zoom. I'm like, are you interested in doing it? And you were like, yeah. And then I was like, okay. And then we just hopped off the call and jumped on our own.
There it went.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, there we are together. And that kind of, but the original production company, like they had like a bunch of actor and actresses in like their email, like in their hub. So they just sent out a flyer thing that was like interested, and there were so many people. I think there was like, I don't know, like 80 people that sent in a note for five different characters that we had, and it was such a surreal thing watching all of them. I'm like, so crazy. Watch people audition for something that you're a part of.
Yeah. Sean Baker casts his own movies. I found out. I'm pretty sure.
What does that mean?
It means like he's like out there just quote unquote on the prowl, just looking for like the roles for.
Interesting.
And I bring that up because a lot of people, like especially in his position, they have casting directors and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
But it's just interesting to like be like, I don't know, just what you want and just go right through it. Yeah.
And it's interesting being him too, because if you see someone you like from something, like maybe he said that he saw her from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and it's interesting that you can kind of, since he writes his own stuff, write it with her in mind and hope that she's interested later on.
Yeah.
Which is cool too. So
this new project of yours, am I allowed to ask what it's about?
Yeah, it's about this is so funny. I've never said the synopsis before, other than to Kristina, which I'm so bad at. So Kristina, we'll figure another one out later.
Yeah.
This is the long synopsis.
Okay.
Two guys in their mid-20s are working at a, what's it called, Kristina? Like a event banquet hall. They're like waiters.
Yeah.
And they're like the guys with the bow ties and like holding the tray. And they decide to go meet up with a friend in Chicago. They're from Detroit. Duh, it's just like me. And in order to get a free ride to Chicago, because they can't afford it, they decide to take advantage of this program that the event banquet hall is hosting, that they're working. The event allows you to take disabled individuals to where they need to their destination for free. So you just have to take them there, but your plane ticket, train ticket, whatever it is free. So they decide to do that with and they get assigned to this disabled woman who doesn't speak, and she's in a wheelchair. But when they get to Chicago, they realize that they're stuck with her for like 48 hours. But they were going to go meet up with their friend to do like some illegal things and make some fast cash. So it's basically 24 hours of time from them trying to like not get caught that they're doing some mischievous stuff, and also be respectful because they're with this woman that's like in her 70s. Living her best life, but because they are responsible, they're legally responsible for her for the next 24 hours. So they get to Chicago, and it's kind of a roller coaster from there. But with the hotel, there's a cop at the train station when they get there that one of our lead, his name is Jimmy, pulls on her oxygen tank, and she starts not being able to breathe, so she's like hyperventilating. He's the worst ever. We hate Jimmy, but we love him. He grows in the story. Okay, he starts as a jackass, and he then plugs it back in and saves her life. So this cop sees this, and he's like, I know a buddy in Chicago who should take care of you. Because they're like, yeah, we don't know where we're gonna stay, because they're originally gonna stay with their friend that they were gonna meet up with, who's also a jackass. So, meaning they don't have anywhere to stay. So, Jimmy didn't plan ahead, and his friend Bart, he is the smart one, and he's like, dude, you didn't have anywhere for us to stay. So then the cop puts them in like this nice hotel, and they're like living on luxury, and then like the 50-page mark, it goes to shit, which is my favorite part of the story. Of any story is the 50-page mark usually, because that's when things hit the shitter usually. So that's kind of what that is. That's a long synopsis. I need to like figure out a shorter one. That wasn't very elevator pitch, but that's what I got going on right now. So
no, that's awesome. It gives me Safdie vibes, which is already something I want to look forward to.
Awesome.
get some of that chaos and bad decisions, you know. I think that's really cool. And you wrote it? You wrote this one?
Yeah, I did fully. I'm just going back through because I'm gonna add in a love interest to raise the stakes, because I think things could be a little bit more difficult for them and like feel bad. Like I'm gonna add a love interest for Bart because he's like the good guy, so I want the stakes to be even higher that he like met someone he really likes out in the city. And so far that's been really easy to just slide in because she works at the hotel, so it makes it extremely easy to be like to just fit that in there.
And you said the hotel is going to be a good chunk of it. It takes place in this hotel?
Yeah, so it's like the not a big chunk of it, but it's just like an important piece that I knew would be extremely difficult.
Okay, I got you.
But definitely doable. It just is like, I don't know. I heard from a friend of ours that doing a feature is easier than doing a short film, and I'm hoping that's true because short films can be kind of difficult sometimes. But the more I do them, the less anxiety I have the night before, so that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I still think the set was too smooth, and I don't know if you want to share what happened to you afterwards.
What?
That's what with your car.
Oh,
like, it was too good. Sometimes.
Yeah, we had such a good day on set, and I met up with some friends afterwards, and I parked my car in an empty lot, and then my car got towed. So that was a crazy end of the day, and then I had to walk 1.5 miles to get there, and all my friends were like, "We'll come with you," and I was like, "If you come with me, I'll cry. You guys need to go and do your next bar and have fun." I called Kristina, and I'm like, "I'm just so mad right now. Just stay on the phone. I'm not even gonna say much. Just stay on the phone, and then I'll just talk for 10 minutes straight." I was like, "I'm not gonna say anything," and I just don't shut up.
You took the hit for an amazing weekend. I appreciate you.
$240 later, and it was so creepy because when I went to go get my car back, you like don't talk to anyone. You just like talk to this like box outside of outside of this like building, and they're like, "Put your ID in the thing." She wasn't a robot. I don't know why I gave her a robot voice. She was like, "Put your ID in the thing," and then I put it through, and then the box shuts, and you can hear her grabbing it. I'm like, "Girl." And then at one point I tried to make them feel bad, and I was like, "I don't think my card will go through. What happens if it declines?" And she's like, "Then you go get money and come back." I was like,
"Oh no."
I thought they'd cut some dollars off for me. I was like, "Is there?" And then at one point I was like, "Is there any way to get a discount?" And she was like, "No." I was like, "Okay, loud and clear." That's why I don't drive a lot. I take the train everywhere, so it's my lesson.
And you two are based in the city?
Yeah.
So commuting through like train and other transportation, I guess, is easier, and it's probably a lot quicker too sometimes, right? Depending how traffic is. Oh, you drive?
I drive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm more south side than anywhere.
Oh, I got you. How south side?
The easiest way to say it's just like hop from Midway, 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. Very cool. I was just
Where
asking.
Are you at?
Tinley Park.
Oh, okay.
So you just
Summit then. Yeah.
Yeah. Just hop down Harlem, and Harlem connects so many places for me.
It does. It's annoyingly convenient.
Yeah, and I used to know somebody who lived across. There used to be a place in that area by Midway called Studio 63.
I went there last weekend.
Oh, so it's still there?
It's a smaller one. So there was a big one. They closed that, knocked that down. Now it's a little guy.
Okay, the big one is where they lived, right by the train tracks there.
Oh, okay.
I used to go over there a lot. Yeah. But I thought they just got rid of it. But it's cool that it still exists.
It's like a shoebox compared to what it was, I think. But it's fine. Yeah. So I live in Summit, actually.
Oh yeah, no, I've couple jobs ago, I knew actually a couple people from the Summit and Justice area too.
Oh.
So very cool. So yeah, it makes more sense for you to drive. Because you have that space, you know, you don't have to rely on anything else.
Yeah.
But
should be driving, and No towing though when she drives.
Yeah, there you go. That's always
Thank
good.
I
God.
always get worried about it. I'm like, oh, my car's still here.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. Before I want to get in two more questions. One, I remembered what I was trying to ask a long time ago. So this is a music-based project. What was it like with recording sound for this project, and what's that process been like, with just from an audio design perspective too?
Yeah. So I knew the music was one of the more important things of it. It was James being the lead and having authentic music. So the composer of the film, also being the music director of the orchestra, he wrote something beforehand so that they could learn it and play it on set. And then we had Andrew Ford did sound, greatest sound guy in
That's
all
awesome.
of the city. Love him so much. He's an angel. He did we had like, if I can remember correctly, he did boom of always, whatever, wherever we needed boom, but for this orchestra specifically, we had mics going toward the stage that was like specific recording for orchestras. I don't know what they were called or what was going on with them, and honestly don't know if we even used them. I think we did, but I was on the stage like walking around and like right next to the camera, so I don't remember if he used that or not, or what it was, to be honest. But I know that the music was written before we did before we were even on set at all. We wanted music written so that they could play it, because the final scene is a performance with the audience, so but it was like the ending of it, so we needed it to like start off but like go right into a song and then finish. So it was kind of quite like it started up here and then was a song and then finished. So it was an interesting to hear that on loop for like 70 times. But yeah, that was really important to me. And I remember Kristina even said that too, because I remember you were like, we were talking about this before, because someone asked us a similar question, I think, at one of those stupid networking events. And you said like that was also like what we were on hold for from.
It is, because not a lot of people really realize that the music can sometimes be the last thing, regardless of what that movie is. And a lot of people really appreciated Cassie's take on her authenticity on it. Like, oh, like music people really appreciated that we had music, that we had real musicians, that they were able to play together, that they did play together. So a lot of that really tied it together to make it feel even more like, even though we have no idea which way to hold the bow, a lot of people appreciated that we admitted that we found experts, we found places to go, we did what we needed to do to make it feel like what Cassidy wanted it to feel like.
Yeah, and I think you said it beautifully. I mean, that's exactly how it should go. You admit like you're not the expert, but what do? You outsource to the perfect people for it, and that's how you bring it together, right? So that's really great.
Yeah, and luckily we did find such a good team, and the musicians were so down to like play whatever, and they played it for so long. At one point it was going for like 10 minutes straight, and I had to be like, cut, but like we'll get back to it in a minute, I need to like give you a break. And they're all like I was like, I'm sorry to make you play that. But at one point we wanted a bunch of inserts, so Eddie Chow, our DP, just like ran around, and I would be next to him and be like, no, this way like this, and like this way like that. But they're like playing the piece over and over and over and over and over, and I'm like, oh my god, I know their shoulders are hurting, because they're like ooh. But yeah, it was really important that we had music beforehand so that they could look like they're playing something when we edit it, and that they really were actually playing something, make it look more real.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm really excited to hear it, and watch it too. But the fact that they kind of composed something for this, I think that's really interesting.
I know,
really
and they're
cool.
adding it to their library of music. I was like, that is the coolest thing ever.
What's the piece called? Do they have a name for it?
It was just called First Chair from what I saw, but I'm sure he'll change it to something because he has to write. Jason Ellis, who is composing, he is writing like another piece for the beginning of it too. So like he wants to have both of those in there, and I don't know if he will change the titles of those or not. But
Hopefully
yeah,
he
everyone
keeps
had
First
like
Chair.
sheet music, and what was cool is we did like a close up of the music, and it was actually what they were playing. So like that was cool too. Everyone had their individual sheet music, which was so cool that it was legit to what they were playing too, which was a nice detail.
Yeah, love to hear it. And for this last question for both of you, it's kind of an open-ended thing, so I just want to ask for both of you, whether professionally or personally, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Kristina, you go first.
5 years, I definitely see myself making more movies. I do 1,012 things on the regular. So as a parent
She's
and
a
as an
troop leader.
a troop leader, yeah. I do 1.5 million things as it is. I still see myself doing film, probably still in education, and hanging out with Cassidy and talking about her dog.
Oh my gosh,
There
she's
you go.
sleeping right now. She's sleeping.
Lilo.
Aw.
Okay, so you see yourself still in film, working in film, and what's different from now? Nothing? You want to stay the same, just doing more film?
I want to make more money doing film.
Ooh, rawr.
So, yes.
Oh, yeah. That reminds me, I owe you money. Oh, that's funny. You'll be receiving a check from me in the mail. But no, I'll probably Venmo. 5 years? I don't even know where I see myself tomorrow. But truthfully, I don't. No, tomorrow I'm going to happy hour with my friend. And Kristina, actually, you're supposed to go too.
And we're going to the deck. We're going to the deck and happy hour.
Yeah, so
that's tomorrow. But in 5 years, Cassidy.
5 years. Wow, so 5 years will be 2030.
No, don't say that like that.
2030, what's my goal? Okay, one goal is to have a couple features made.
Okay.
At least one feature made. I would like to be out of this tiny apartment. I love it here so much, but you can only do so much with 300 square feet. I'm sick. I have a dog who's 45 pounds, okay? It's like having a grown man wake up next to me. You can't do it in 300 square feet. And I would like to, I would hopefully like to be doing film. I would at least like to make, it's not a goal of mine to make any money actually from film, so I shouldn't say that because I don't really care about that. I hope that it's a goal of mine. I just want to I would love to be doing movies full time, but I know that that's probably not accurate because like even people like, did you see the guy from The Brutalist, the director, like made no money from that? Love that, Oscar nominated.
Right.
But he also made 200,000, so like I don't know what that means, but that's also not a lot of money for an Oscar nominated. But like, where'd that money go, Shawty? 200,000, you made none.
It went where Joanne went.
Yeah, but maybe those numbers weren't true. I don't know. I probably should have read the article. I didn't. I skipped through it. I didn't even.
Why are you mentioning it? Stop.
I know. It's horrible. No, 5 years from now, I'd like to be. Wow, I'll be older than now.
Yeah. So fun fact: there's like about a 10-year difference between Cassidy and I.
Christina's actually 12. Just kidding. No, Kristina is the shortest 30-year-old I've ever met in my life. It's
30, you're so sweet.
Okay, 5 years from now, I have a couple features made, and I'm living in a nicer apartment. Ugh, do I really care? I don't know if I actually care about that. I actually love
It's
this
fine.
apartment.
Now she's gonna ramble for months. Thanks,
I
Sean.
know.
I
Okay,
know.
5 years, I want 2 movies made. That's it. God.
Just
it's
do it
getting
now.
exciting.
Small.
Yeah, because
You
it
already
takes
did
a lot of
3. 3 since 2023. You can only make 2 more.
No, features.
There we go.
Features.
Making
Just
her dream big.
push it up to this
Fire.
summer. Start filming this summer instead of 2026 for your
I
feature.
know, I don't know how I'm gonna
Just
get
do
the
it.
money.
Just do
I
it.
know, I took the Kristina mentality. Just do it. man.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
What how do you get your cameras?
Our DP has it.
Oh,
So
okay.
we get the guy with the cameras.
What kind of camera
He
is it?
charges a lot of money.
Oh.
That kit is
Oh.
worth a penny.
Do you know the type, the model?
He has.
Is it a Black Magic? No.
No, it's not
No.
a black magic.
No?
Christina's just shooting answers out of her ass.
It's not a Nikon.
I don't know what it is. Actually, I couldn't even tell you. I think it's a Canon, but I don't even know if it is. But it's really nice.
We're just gonna start saying names.
Why do you ask? Just
'Cause-
because.
Lens rental is pretty good with like what you could rent on there. It's just depending
Yeah.
what you're renting, it might cost a lot of money. An
Yeah.
example is like most Hollywood films use the RE Alexas and stuff, the RE cams. You
Okay.
could rent that through lens rental, but it'll cost you like $2,000 a week.
Yeah.
Which if you're funding it, if you've got money for it, hell yeah, but otherwise I rented a Canon C80 for $200 for 3 days, and we only used 1 day out of it. But
Yeah.
that's always something if you have like the budget for it,
Mhm.
which is the main thing when it comes to most projects, right?
Right.
But you can
Yeah.
make anything look great. It's just how the post looks too. I think
It's
that's big.
definitely, I think, one of the most important things on set that makes it look cinematic is just, from my experience, is just lighting. I feel like the camera is almost not, it's almost how you, I feel like the camera you use is kind of almost irrelevant, maybe, because you really can make an incredible movie on an iPhone. To me, it's the lighting that changes something from being like cinematic, whatever
Right.
that means.
And
to
I think
be-
the editor's pretty great too.
yeah,
About Joseph.
Joseph's the best. So, and actually, what's interesting is our DP is actually color grading, which is cool. They're working together. He just likes to color grade and sent me. I can show you a pic.
Yeah. I want to see.
That's so funny. Wow, I did so many text messages. God, people are obsessed with it.
Stay fo-
I'm just kidding. It's just my sister and my mom. That's the gag. But yeah, he color graded these after, here's one. I'll show you. Here's one. Let's see if I can get it to look good. Hold on, let me lower the brightness.
Oh, is that the one that we saw?
Yeah, let me see if lowering the brightness helps at all.
I love that picture. He's
That is
sitting by
such a-
himself. That's his violin next to him.
That's his violin case, and it's cool. I wish you could see it, but it's like a deep red / purple.
Oh,
And we
no,
have
I
the same-
can't.
And then this.
You're gonna have to check it at the premiere.
Yeah,
and
I
then
know. I'll see it.
This is fake window. We didn't even have it. Oh, look at my thumb. My mom's gonna kick my ass.
Yeah.
This is a fake window that we put up. There actually wasn't even any real window like that.
Oh, that's cool. That's one of the great things about lighting is you could cultivate things like that. You know, it helps with immersion and stuff. So, yeah.
So interesting. So that looks really cool. And I know that he sent me something else too. Oh, here's another one with me making him pick his fingers.
Oh, you had him doing the fingers.
Yeah, I made him pick his fingers. And he's like, I just don't understand what you mean by that. I'm like, freaking do it.
Yeah.
It's like a deep, like purpley red.
Yeah, I noticed it a little bit more there with the case.
Yeah, and then here's our violin. Oh, and James is peeking. So funny. But that's all we had going on. There's a little sneak a peek.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I love character pieces. It seems to be very character driven. So, and speaking of orchestras, I mean, one of the documentary winners this year at the Oscars was about an orchestra.
Yes, the girl in the
Jello.
The girl in the orchestra, or
yeah. Oh, the girl in the orchestra. Why did I think it was the girl in the back? Not what I meant. Yeah, the girl in the orchestra, that freaking one, yeah, which is insane.
1966. That's that was a long time ago.
Yeah, Jason recommended that Kristina and I watch that, so that was cool that one.
Yeah, very cool. But
interesting. I love music. So,
Ron, question for you is: how does your family feel about your love of film and you doing them?
Ooh, sweet.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh.
I already asked you.
Yeah, she's like,
yeah, you already know, right?
Yeah, it's like our family don't shut up about film.
Yeah, no, they know I'm obsessed with it. I've been watching movies since I was a kid. I almost went to film school, but I went the factory worker life, and that's where I'm still at. But I'm at least in like more of a corporate position with that. But I showed them pictures of the project after we filmed, and you know, they support it. If I have a premiere somewhere, they'll be there.
Cool.
Yeah, I have a day job, so it's not like they're getting on my ass about like having a specific type of job or something. So
right.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah. What about you, Cassidy, and Kristina? You're on the producer side, but you know, what do your families think of you guys pursuing film?
Well, I'm kind of grateful because I went to like a film trade school, so I did like it was like one full year, September to September. And it was interesting because it was all hands on. So like it was nice because like when I'm on set, like next month I'll be on set as like swing. So like I'll do whatever. It's basically a PA, but you just have more responsibility. I guess. I don't really know what that means. But it's for Allie. She was assistant director on First Chair, and she's directing this project. And she's like, I want you there. So I was like, okay, I'll just like run around because luckily I know how to set up lights. I know how to set up camera, and like I can boom op and sound whatever if I need to because we learned all of that. But I also know nothing about film history because I didn't take like a film history class like everyone else does. So I'm like, I guess it just means watching movies though. Like I don't really know. I don't know. I kind of have to do that. But luckily, with being in film school, my family's extremely supportive, and they know that like this is kind of the like I don't even know what I'm saying. Hold on.
It's your life and you like it.
Yeah, like they just like my sisters know, like I make them sit down with me and like read my scripts through because I want to hear my script out loud. So like there'll be like different characters and whatever. So like they will do that. They'll like sigh about it and be like, okay, fine, but they'll do it with a smile on their face. So like they're supportive. And now that I moved to like a big city, it's like I'm taking it more serious. So they're definitely supportive. And my dad sends me every idea in the book he has. He gave me over the weekend a giant packet of an idea that he has for a movie. And the movie idea was only a page. All the things in the packet were images that he felt resembled the movie. And it was like 75 pages of different.
He storyboarded it?
Storyboarded it. I was like, I love you so much, but it's like a time travel movie. I'm like, Major Slay, that's exciting. We need one of those. Interstellar.
I want to read it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll direct it for him. I don't know.
It's called The Loop, and it's about Chicago and in the loop. Like when you go around on the train, at one point there's like a killer and they're trying to find him, and it's because he is like going back in time when you go on the loop, and like you take it off the train at a certain stop or something.
That is really clever.
Oh yeah,
it's insane. It's very Black Mirror episode coded.
Yeah.
It's very Twilight. Twilight Zone.
Or
But
maybe I'll write the script and then you could direct it because you're in the
please.
city.
Oh my God, that takes the weight off my shoulders. Please, Chuck, I will make this for you, but Sean's gonna write it. So I'll fax over all the documents.
Yeah. No, but yeah, I'm a big sci-fi nerd, so I eat that shit up.
Yeah, it's really funny. It sounds cool. I just like a more, while First Chair is a little sci-fi, but
it is
a little at the end.
Really?
Yeah, you gotta watch it to really know, but we don't want to give too much out. Yeah.
Can you just email it to me? I want to watch it. Just send it to me. I'll be at the premiere. Send me the raw footage. Just send me all the raw takes.
Every single minute of raw footage. He has like 20 hours. He's like, sure, I'll fucking watch it.
I'll sift through all of it.
I'll send you the script if you want to read it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, I can send that to you. But no, I'm very grateful because my parents didn't go to college, so like I didn't grow up with like and like it over my shoulders that I needed to make them proud and go to school and be like a doctor or something, which I know that I'm very grateful for, but sometimes it does feel like there's an immense pressure because I'm the only one like in the family that's like moved out on my own and like into a different city and like doing my dream, and it's just like it does feel like a lot of pressure, but like God forbid I have pressure for wanting to live my best life. Like,
are they in Illinois or they're in a different state?
No, they're in Detroit, so they're in Michigan.
You kept talking about it. Yeah,
but it is just like it's very weird. I don't know, like I don't have anyone like to like look up to that I can like know and see and be like I'll take this path.
Yeah.
We went to a short story. I love this story. It's my favorite thing to share in my head. I've never said it out loud. Kristina and I went to a filmmakers meetup, and there was a girl that was sitting in front of us who we talked to briefly. And there's like people on the panels, and they're like people who like. There's two people who made feature films. I'd never heard of them before, and it was fun to like talk to Chicago people, whatever. There was a girl in front of us taking notes. And afterwards, Kristina and I were talking, and we're like, it's so interesting that you can attend. Like, it's not like we're in biology class and there's a specific formula you have to write down to do it. Like, there's no formula for film. You just have to do it. You have to go on set and do it and see what works for you and what doesn't. So, like, this girl taking notes from these people she doesn't know about how they did their feature, I was like, it's like mind-blowing to me because there's nothing you can learn. There's nothing they can say that you can write down on paper besides like a link of a website that they use or something that's like you need to remember for later that like you can use as knowledge to work on your film in the future. It's like you just have to do it how you think you would do it and what makes the most sense in your mind, and then literally do what you think you're supposed to do and see what works and what didn't work. And like it can be a 30-second short film, like literally like film your dog running around in a circle and be like, how could this be more scary, or how could this be more suspenseful? And so like someone taking notes at like a panel is crazy to me. Like I don't know, so it just something like Kristina and I were talking afterwards, and we were just like, I was like dumbfounded because I'm like, it's beautiful that people love the craft so much that they're willing to like listen to people who have made a feature film and like take notes on what they're saying. But like, it's not like a chemistry class where there's like a formula to do it. There's nothing that works for people, or everyone would be a successful director. Like you just have to do it and not give up and hope that what you like is what other people like. And like, I don't know. Kristina, do you remember this conversation?
Yes, I think about it all the time when someone else
do not.
I do. I work with kids.
Really?
Like, why are you writing this down? You're not gonna remember.
It's so interesting. Like, why did she take notes? I love that girl. She was so sweet.
Pages of notes too.
And I'm like, what could they have said that was important enough to write down? Like, there's not.
The best advice that I hear everyone talk about, directors, actors, whatever, it's just do it.
Just do it. You just have to.
You said it best.
The only advice that I've like heard and like done from like a famous director is Quentin Tarantino said to take acting classes and that can make you a better director. And so I did. I took an acting class and I feel like it did help me a little get in the mind. But like it's not like he said take acting classes at this time and this day at this with these
Right.
people. Like it's so, but it's beautiful that people love it so much that they're like, whatever you say, I'll take it into consideration. But there just really is no path that people can tell you to do. You just have to like make it for yourself and see what works and what didn't. And like, if it didn't, figure out why. And like, if one person on your set didn't click with you, then you have to find someone else. And like, it just was so interesting. Like, I still think about that all the time because what an odd thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know how that ties into my family from loving and trusting in me. But no, they do. It just sometimes it feels like there's pressure. But like, God, what a hard life that is. That there's pressure to do what I love to do. Kristina, do you feel pressure from your children?
Lorelai, yes. So my youngest, she's our biggest supporter. My oldest, she does things in a little different way. But my youngest is like, yeah, so my mom produces. Like, didn't I just see your mom in the hallway? Like, yeah, she doesn't
I'm dead. I love when you say that.
Like, so it's funny. True. Like, yeah. It's like, do you know Cassidy Tee? Well, you should. Like, that's just how she is.
So when I was a movie producer, they're like, yeah, but I just saw her over there getting snack in the food court at school. In the cafeteria food court. Wow, it's been a minute since I've been in a school. I'm at cafeteria.
Same thing, right?
Yeah, right? Where the fatties get together.
Thanks for letting my kids hear that.
I love Lori and I love the
So they're very supportive.
They are in their own ways.
Yeah, how old are they?
13 and 9.
Okay, so the 13-year-old probably.
She's in her own world. She's the angsty teen, which is fine.
Is she the one where you'll try to show her something you worked on and she's like,
yeah, she's like,
whatever.
But when's dinner?
Yeah. I feel like that was a really good impression though. He was like, yeah. That's good. That was really good. I felt it. I felt the Vivian in that.
Yeah. I've got a lot of cousins, so, and I'm trying to brace myself for when my son gets older and he hits that stage of.
Yeah, 13-year-olds just don't care.
It's fine.
Like, it's cool to care, guys.
Yeah.
It's 2025.
Right.
But
yeah, that's cool. So before we get out of here, just each of you, if you want to say a little blurb. Cassidy, you could talk a bunch if you want to, but you don't have to. Just.
He's like, I know you love to yap, girl.
But if you just both want to, like, plug something that you're working, obviously first chair is going to be something, but give the floor to you guys again, and you could just kind of plug some things before we get out of here.
Okay, Kristina, you want to go?
We're still raising funds for first chair. Things are expensive even after.
Good, got that right.
Yeah. We're living life, I think. It's been a fun time, and I can't wait to get going.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, we're raising money in post-production. What else? Oh my God, now that I'm forced to yap, I don't know what to say. No, but we're still raising funds for post-production. It's been quite the journey so far. Like, this has been in my life for over a year now, October of 2024. So, yeah, it's been quite the journey. So it's weird that it's been made already and that it happened in 3 short days. But I don't know, one of the days we gave like 80 people, we had to feed 80 people lunch. So that was intense because we had so many people on set that one day. Kristina, remember?
Oh, yeah. When I got was it the tacos or the sandwiches?
It was the pizza.
The pizza. Oh, yeah, that was crazy.
That was so many people. We had to do pizza. Pizza's frowned upon on sets, apparently. I love pizza.
And
so
a lot of companies too, because they think of it like, instead of corporate actually helping you, it's like, here's a pizza party, and everybody's like, what about better working conditions?
Yeah, they're like, actually, I want to get paid more.
Yeah.
And I'm like, here's
That's when we
a
shared a slice. That's how serious we were about pizza. Like
Yeah.
we were working.
I was like, you want
Yeah.
pepperoni or cheese? But yeah, this was Kristina and me, and this was so much fun to sit with you, Sean. And I can't wait until you have a big podcast studio and we can come back and sit with you and chat.
And come to the meetups. Meet us up in
Yeah,
person.
come to some Chicago filmmaker meetups. You're a director now, big time director man. So now
Plenty
you have
offer.
meetups and see what's going on. Maybe meet some people next to you. What was it? Meet some people.
Network
Okay.
sideways.
Network.
Yeah,
You
network
have to
sideways.
network sideways.
Yeah, I went to one meetup. So
And?
it was
When?
cool. Actually, one of the composers, she's composing for my short film.
There you go.
So it worked out. Yeah. But
We found our not lead at a meetup. Tori.
yeah. Where
Oh, we did.
cuz Kristina, you posted in the Chicago Film Club Discord. That's how I reached out to you, right? So it
Yeah.
was their meetup that I went to. I haven't been to
Oh,
any others.
Frog.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
Frog, and all pretty nice people. It's just kind of what I bring to the table with projects. It's not really what a lot of people are looking for, because a lot of places you go, it's always everybody's a writer, or everybody's a writer and director.
Yeah.
So it's like, I could read your stuff if you want, but they're
Right.
looking for other stuff. So
Actually, the meetups where it's not just film has kind of been helpful too. We've
yeah.
met some really cool people when it's a plethora of occupations. Like we met a landlord. He wasn't interesting, but like I'm just saying, we met one.
The landlord, he was a little rude. I was like, you fit the part. That's
Yeah.
you right there.
Yeah.
Do these happen on the weekends?
Yeah, usually like a
Okay.
Friday, Thursday, Friday.
Because that makes a difference, because the Frog is always on a Wednesday, and I got lucky
is.
once. That's why I went, but I haven't been since.
I actually play soccer on Wednesdays, so I can never go.
Yeah.
Actually, I have to go in a little bit, but
Wow. That's sweet. But yeah, this was so much fun, and hopefully we'll see you at something soon. And
Yeah, it was great. This is technically my first episode of this podcast. So I appreciate you jumping on, and yeah.
Period. That's so exciting. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, of course.
would yap all day until someone told me not to. So
clearly.
That's what Christina's for, right? Christina's
Honestly,
supposed to
she
bring you
reels
back
me
in.
in.
Yeah.
like, wrap it up.